Welcome to my no-buy Christmas decorate video. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie from the Farmhouse Mom, and in this video I am going to decorate my living room, my Christmas tree, and part of my dining room with Christmas decor that I already have without purchasing anything else. If you are here from my last video, Declutter Christmas, you might have seen all of the Christmas tubs that I have. I don't know if that's a normal amount of Christmas tubs. I don't know if people usually have more. I've only been celebrating Christmas for 9 years, and so all of those tubs were things that I have purchased over the last 9 years, and most of it has been thrifted. I also resell items that I thrift. I've started doing that in the last year. So I had quite a few items from that as well. So I want to show you what I decluttered down to. So this is the tub that I used to decorate the Christmas tree. And so only these ornaments, and these are the ornaments that I am donating to my sister. I also have already dropped off quite a bit of Christmas decor at the thrift store to donate, and I've sold quite a bit on my Poshmark. I've sold about $400 on my Poshmark, so that's really nice. And I'll go ahead and leave my link to my Poshmark shop if you see anything in my videos that you like. And I am really working hard on my goal by the end of the year of getting my whole house decluttered and ultra organized. I'm getting the feeling that that might push into January. I might not quite be done by the end of the year, but we are making a ton of progress. I still have a laundry room. I need to go through my office again, bedroom, and a room upstairs, which if I give myself some dedicated time, I really feel like I could get that done very quickly. And if you are on the same journey, I think you can get it done as well. So there was a comment that one of my viewers left on my last video, and I mentioned it before that I've almost gotten obsessed with it. She mentioned that every year she totally takes all of her kitchen down, puts it in boxes, does a deep clean, a deep scrub, and then she only puts back things that she uses. And that was such a helpful tip. So that's what I've been asking myself, is if I were going to move this across country, would I pack it up? And it's been really helpful in helping me make a lot of decisions. So I actually did have in mind a couple of things that I wanted to purchase for Christmas. I wanted to purchase some throw pillows for the couch, or throw pillow covers, because I have quite a few nice fluffy down pillows. And I wanted to purchase a really long, pretty garland for the fireplace. And as I was looking on Amazon and putting it in my cart, I thought, it's okay. I thought, why don't I just not buy them this year, and they will always be there next year if I want them. I might still get the pillow covers just to have some winter pillow covers. And I thought, why don't I just not get them and just go with what I have? Everything I have is so pretty, and it costs $0. And so that is a great reason to keep it. And then also my husband and I have been working really hard the last few years to be debt free. We're doing really good, but we still have some big chunks to take away. And you know, that $100, $200, $300 really adds up. So let's start decorating. I'm gonna take you through what I've done all week. Sorry for the rough transition. There was just not a good spot for me to end that sentence. So anyway, what I first did is look at my outdoor items that I had, and I had a bunch of mismatched wreaths, but I had two that matched. And so I decided, instead of all of the windows in the house or the 3 windows up front by the kitchen, I would just make it simple, and I would put a wreath in each window by either side of the fireplace in the living room, where we spend most of our time over the winter. I tried hanging these with kind of like a doubled up ribbon look, and it just didn't hang right. It kept twisting throughout the day. So you'll notice later in the video, I actually made it a little bit longer, and then I tied a knot at the end of the wreath, and I had them hung like that, and I think it looked a lot better. It's so funny that we do spend a lot of time facing this fireplace, yet you never notice how dirty your windows are, or even that you have little spider webs. So of course, before I hung the windows, I cleaned everything around them. I've done really well keeping the living room free of cluttered drop zones. However, the fireplace a lot of times will turn into a clutter drop zone. So I really think I need to get a basket with a lid on it and set it to the left of the fireplace. So if I do have something that I bring in or something that I want to put on the fireplace to decorate for next season, I can just put it there and it won't be so cluttered. I love having the basket of books there to the right of the fireplace, because Jackson and I will sit in that chair and we'll read almost every night. So this is a garland that I decided to use instead of the really fluffy one that I wanted. One, like I said, it was free. I already had it. I got a huge trash bag full of garlands from the thrift store, I think for just a few dollars. And then also, I just feel like I don't have a lot of space between the TV and the mantle. Kind of looking back, it maybe looks like I have a little bit more space than I think. Maybe I'm kind of always seeing it at an up angle. But I don't know, that's every time I put something up there, it just seems like it takes up all that space and it just never quite looks right. So I just did that thinner garland, and I had some cranberries, little holly berries left over, and then I also had some pine cones that I had picked up from my in-laws' place. I have no idea where I put my hammer that I was using to hang my wreaths, but all I could find was this like super tiny screwdriver. So I was just pounding in the thumbtacks to hold all of the stockings. I had a couple of the stocking holders, but I feel like, again, it made it look too cluttered, and they also were not strong enough. Like as soon as we put candy or whatever we stuffed the stockings with, it did not hold the stockings. And so I thought, I'm just going to use some tiny thumbtacks and that will be fine. Do you guys do a different theme every year or a different color? I had so many hundreds of vintage glass ornaments. Every time I would see them at the thrift store, I would always pick them up because my nieces and my sister also wanted to replace their plastic ornaments with glass ornaments. And so I had a lot of vintage ones, a lot of really neat ones, but I decided to simplify down just to the red and the white. And then I also kept the gold ones because I've started collecting vintage brass ornaments that I really love. I got a huge pack, I think it was like 15 of the little brass horns, and I kept one and I let the rest go. So although it did not look like that was a lot of ornaments, this is actually all the ornaments that I put on the tree. And then Jackson and Eric were home as I was kind of in the middle of this, and so that was really nice. We got to put it all together. I get tired of putting up Christmas ornaments about 20 minutes in. I just get frozen, like I don't know where else they should go. So Eric is pretty good about doing the top half, and then I do the bottom half. We weren't going to put up our Merry Christmas sign. Eric just wanted to leave the clock up, but he couldn't stand it. He said, well, let's just put the sign up. We do it every year. So it does make it look really nice. So he went ahead and put that up for me. So as I'm recording this voiceover, it's November 14th, and I really thought that I would have everything done, decorated for Christmas, but I have not even touched my kitchen. I still have all of my kind of, Halloween stuff out in the kitchen. But we did go ahead and clean off the top of this hutch, and we started putting the Santas out, and I just thought it looked a little too cluttered. And some of those Santas I really love, and some of them I put up for sale. And I decided to take those off because I felt like it didn't look good. It just looked like a bunch of stuff up there. And I put something else up there after I changed out my picture to more of a winter scene. All right, I've refrained myself for 11 and a half minutes in the video, and I've not played any holiday music, but I just can't help it anymore. So we have a little home for the holidays, and that is the picture that I am putting in the picture frame. I had some calendars that I cut out from the 60s. I think some of them were from the 70s, but anyway, they had some really, really beautiful photographs in there, some prints in there. So I traded out the one picture to a holiday home, and I decided to put up some 1950s tin. One's like, I think it's like a little feed store grain silo type of situation, and then the other is a barn. And I bought those my very first Christmas, and I think they are part of a 1950s train set. I looked on Google, I tried my Google Lens, and I'm just not quite sure what they are from or the era. So if those look familiar at all, if you feel like you've seen those before, let me know what these are from. So one of the pictures that I have on my piano that I stole from my sister is of my great-grandparents in front of a Christmas tree. So we come from more of a Polish Catholic family, and then my grandmother and mom were Jehovah's Witnesses, and so that tradition of celebrating Christmas was broken. And of course I never met my great-grandparents, or if I did, I don't remember. I was a small little baby. But I love having that picture of my great-grandparents celebrating Christmas. It just always makes me smile, and it makes me feel close to them. All right, I feel like on November 14th, I can only get away with one Christmas song. So I'm going to go back to my traditional morning mandolin, my signature Farmhouse Mom song from all my intros. So I was going to take down those black lanterns, but one of my viewers said, oh, you should leave them up for Christmas. And I thought that I actually think that looks really good. And so I put some little bows on them to kind of Christmas them up. And then I put my little red snowflake garland up and just a couple of other ornaments that I had thrifted. And then this is my husband's Christmas village and just a little Santa that he bought a couple years ago. One of the main reasons I'm so focused on decluttering everything is I really am missing and craving the time to do things for myself. I feel like I've been pouring out so much for the last 5 years, and I have not been taking anything in for myself. And I deeply, deeply miss exercising every day. It's something that brings me so much joy, and I just feel so cluttered, and I have so many projects that I have to do. It's difficult for me to get a schedule where I can carve that time out. I've got the kids' routine in a really good spot. And getting this house decluttered where it's very easy to clean, I think is going to bring me to my goal. I have already started decluttering and decorating my kitchen. So I will see you next week with a kitchen Christmas decorate and declutter. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.